Hi friends, my name is Zeenath KJ and I welcome you all to Soft Skills Adda series of videos. In this video, we're going to talk about don'ts of resume writing. So let's get started. Now let's talk about the don'ts of resume. Certain information which you need not to mention in your resume. The first one, father's and mother's name. My dear friends, let me tell you, there is no need to write your father's or your mother's name in your resume for sure. Because please understand, you are the person who is applying for the job. You are the person who would be attending the interview. This whole resume is all about you, your qualification, your skills, your abilities, your qualities, your accomplishments, your hobbies, your interests, etc., etc. Then what value do you think mentioning your father's or your mother's name would add to your resume is one question what we have to ask. Usually there has been incidents where people have come to me and said, ma'am, my parents are very important. Without my parents, I'm nothing. How can I not mention my father's name or mother's name? But you have to understand, this is not about becoming emotional about anything or taking anything personally. This is just about using a common sense and presence of mind. If an information what you're mentioning in the resume is not adding any value, it's not even required, it's not even important for the employer to know, then why would you write it? Hope actually it's making sense to all of you. Second, gender. I don't know, people have gotten to this very bad habit of actually mentioning male, female, but you have to understand whether you are a male or a female candidate, if you are the right candidate with the right set of skills which are relevant to the job what you're applying for, no one can stop you from getting that opportunity. So it doesn't matter whichever gender you belong to, you do not have to highlight that. Again, with one terms and conditions apply. By any chance, if the employer has been specifically looking for female candidates or maybe male candidates for a particular role, they would have mentioned that in the job description itself, right? So if you're applying, after reading the job description, it means you have to be a female candidate for sure or a male candidate as per the information which is mentioned in the job description. Otherwise, you do not belong to that category. It's a very simple common sense thing to understand. That's the reason you need not to mention your gender. Third, caste or religion. Whichever caste you belong to, whichever faith you follow, whichever religion you actually come under, the employer has nothing to do with it unless only one factor. That is, are you an eligible candidate or not? For this information from my end, a big no-no. Marital status. I had come across this resume in which a candidate had written saying marital status, colon, married, within brackets, going to be a father. Trust me, it was hilarious to read. I was literally rolling on the floor and laughing because I was thinking it doesn't matter to me as an employer whether you're married, you're not married, you are blessed with kids, you're not blessed with kids, you're going to be a father, you're not going to be a father. What value do you think it's going to add? Again, one terms and conditions apply unless the employer is very particular about hiring only married people or unmarried people. Then they would have mentioned that in the job description. If they're looking for married candidates and if you apply, that is understood that you are a married candidate. If the employer is looking for an unmarried candidate and you are applying for the same, it means you have to be an unmarried candidate. So there is nothing to highlight over here because whatever is connected to your personal life usually has nothing to do when it comes to your professional life. So marital status not needed at all. Reference. Mentioning any reference in your CV as an experienced candidate would make a lot of sense than talking about your reference in your resume as a fresher. I hope it's making sense to all of you. Please understand, when it comes to a fresher, what reference might be actually applicable? Only two. One, maybe somebody who is working in the company is referring you, has let you know that there is a position available, why don't you apply? Okay, this is called as employee reference. What can be another reference? By any chance, if the recruiter is very interested to know what kind of a person you are, how you have been as a student during your student life, then they might ask you to get a reference letter from the concerned person, maybe from the principal of the institution or from the people who have who have taught you, like your lecturers, your teachers, etc., etc. Okay, so that is another kind of reference. You can call it as a reference letter. Apart from these two, as you are a fresher, no one has seen the way you work. No one has actually experienced how talented or skilled you are. Mentioning reference in your resume wouldn't add any value to your resume at all, my dear friends. So please do not unnecessarily mention the reference information in your resume and overload your resume, which might actually sometimes irritate the employers too. Photo. Usually students ask me this question saying, ma'am, do I have to print my resume with the photo? You don't have to, because let the person hire you based on the set of skills what you have, which would make you an eligible candidate to the role what you have been applying for, than based on the looks what you've got. In fact, your looks neither should matter to you nor should matter to the people who are going to hire you. That is point number one. Point number two, yes, there are some companies who are very, very particular about you having your photo in your resume, although you are a fresher. Okay, sometimes this they might ask you to do this in the resume itself, or sometimes they might ask you to stick a passport size photo in the job application form and enclose your resume, a copy of your resume along with the job application form, and submit to the concerned person. In that case, go ahead. Otherwise, in general, when you're applying for any job as a fresher, it would not add any value. This is one of the factors what I actually got to see in some of the resumes recently, especially written by engineering graduates as well as MBA graduates. I was so shocked to see this column. Political and religious views. Your political and religious views, my dear friends, are considered your opinions, which are personal. They're not going to add any value to your resume. So please make sure that you do not mention a political or religious view in your resume at all, because people are not interested to know. In fact, they need not to know. Why would you even mention that? That too when you're applying for a job in industries like IT, manufacturing, software, hardware, etc., etc. So a big no-no to this. In general, if you are an Indian and you are looking for a job opportunity in India, you think of it. What value would it add you mentioning you are an Indian when you are an Indian and you want to work here in India? Nationality you might have to mention in two situations. Which are they? You're an Indian and you're looking for a job opportunity abroad, then mentioning your nationality becomes compulsory. Second, maybe you're not an Indian, you are a Nepali or a Pakistani, or maybe you come here all the way from the UK or the US and you're applying for a job opportunity here in India, then again mentioning your nationality becomes compulsory. Except these two situations, in any other situations, mentioning your nationality wouldn't make any sense at all, my dear friends. So we can easily avoid this information in your resume. Declaration. Oh my goodness, this is my favorite part. I've always seen this being written in every resume as if you're taking a pledge as an Indian soldier for Indian Army. The above mentioned information is true as per my knowledge, etc., etc. You have to understand, see, when you submit your resume, you usually tend to sign your resume and then submit the resume. Your signature itself is actually authentifying that all the information what you have mentioned in the resume is true, in fact should be true as per your knowledge. So when your signature is already doing that work, why would you unnecessarily require a declaration statement right below that, your signature with date and place, which makes your resume look like a formal letter than a resume? Why would you need that? That's why a big no-no even to the declaration sentence. So friends, that's all I've got for all of you in this video. I'm going to be back very soon with another video with lots of learning. Until then, please do take a great care of yourself and have an amazing time ahead. Please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching the video.